Hello and assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Wolf Talks. I'm really sorry for the hindrance you guys have to face for technical issues keep on going. For the people who have just joined, I'm going to tell again that today we're going to talk about tourism in Pakistan, how that can be promoted and how that needs to be promoted. Today, for that purpose, I have with myself a wonderful personality, Aneeqa Ali. Aneeqa owns her own travel company that is Mad Hatters, and is a cyclist as well. And she has a very interesting story that Aneeqa is professionally has an MBA degree in finance and has worked for various corporate sectors over a span of 10 years. But in 2017, Aneeqa decided that she needs to pursue her passion of traveling and cycling. So she left the corporate world for good and started Mad Hatters. And now it's a wonderful travel company. Hundreds of people travel with them to the areas of Pakistan which are not very much famous but have a beautiful culture. So without any delay, I'll have Aneeqa back online with me. Hi, Aneeqa. How are you?
Hi, Aman. I'm good. Pleasure to be here again. I hope we don't face any technical difficulties this time.
Yeah, I hope so. So tell me, Aneeqa, how's the quarantine or not so quarantine going?
No, I've been quarantining for the past few months. So
Uh-huh.
when,
Very nice.
yeah, in March when this happened, so I had like a lot of trips planned during March and April because that's the cherry blossom season in Pakistan, and a lot of
Yeah.
domestic as well as foreign tourists travel to Pakistan in that season. So I had a lot of trips planned during March and April, and I
Mm.
just had to instantly cancel all of them. So that was like a really heartbreaking time for me because I mean, it was in China for some time, but I think everybody, they never thought that it could come and it could like travel so fast and be everywhere in the world. So nobody, I think, probably expected that
Exactly.
everything will have to be shut down so quickly.
Yeah. Anika, before we move into our topic that is promoting tourism in Pakistan, so I'd like to know you about something about you and tell people. So I was just telling the people watching that you served corporate world for 10 years, and 10 years is a long time, and then you left it for good just for your passion of traveling. Tell me something, okay, what was the reason behind this shift, and what's basically Mad Hatters?
Well, I mean, even before I started this company, when I was doing this job, so travel is something that has like remained constant throughout my life, and I love traveling. Even at that time, I would like go up north all the time, different tour routes, and I've also traveled solo. But
Yeah,
one thing I realize is that the travel industry of Pakistan is not really very inclusive for females, especially. So you
exactly.
see a lot of, I mean, even in terms of like operators. I mean, if you look at the hotel industry, transport industry, tour operator industry, it's all like dominated by men. And even in
Exactly.
terms of travelers, it's mostly men who travel to these areas. So this is something that I really felt that, a lot of time, because I did not really care about these things, and I would just travel with anybody who was going, and I would even travel solo. I didn't really mind a lot of things, but I realized that, there were a lot of challenges that specifically women had to face when they were traveling alone. So I thought, one thing that I really missed from the travel industry was that engagement with local communities. So most of the
Uh-huh.
times it was just about going to places, taking selfies in front of forts and borders and all of that. But you don't have that engagement with local communities. You don't really learn about their culture, their cuisines, their arts, and all of that. So this is something that I found was really missing in this travel space. So I
Uh-huh.
thought of combining all of those. So our tours are not just focused on going to main touristic places. We focus going on more off the beaten path locations that people usually don't go to, and we also make it a point that we include the local communities, and we have a very enriching experience learning about wherever we go. So there's an educational element in this, and then we also have like some women only tours. I mean, not all of our tours are women only. Most of them are open for everybody, and anybody can sign up for them. But we have some women only tours also to like create that bond of sisterhood, and also to make tourism kind of like a gender inclusive space.
Exactly. Wonderful, wonderful. One thing I'm very intrigued. You guys have a very interesting name. So, where did that come from, Mad Hatters?
Yeah, so a lot of people also, sometimes call it the mad haters. Uh,
Ah,
so that's the question that people ask. That's why you name your company the Mad Haters, and I have to tell them, oh no, it's not the Mad Haters, it's the Mad Hatters. So the Mad Hatters
uh-huh.
is basically a character from the book Alice in Wonderland. If you
Yeah.
read about that book, so I mean, there's this girl who goes into a rabbit hole and she discovers a new world under there, and she interacts with different characters. And I believe
Mhm.
travel is something. Travel is something similar. I mean, it does that for a lot of people because when you're traveling, you're going to new worlds, you're discovering new places, you're meeting new characters everywhere you go. So that's why, and also then hats can be associated with travel also. So when you travel,
Yeah.
you wear hats. That's what in our logo as well. So it's kind of like people who are not very conventional, people who like unconventional things, and you want to explore and
Uh-huh.
interesting.
Great. So, moving on, it's a very interesting name for the people who have read Alice in the Wonderland. They know what exactly it means. So, moving on, recently देख रहे हैं कि how everything is being changed from scratch. Everything, literally, businesses, education, everything has changed because of this COVID-19 situation. So, being a person who is very connected with the tourism world, so how do you think that COVID has affected tourism in Pakistan?
So COVID has definitely, I mean, tourism was actually the first industry that was hit because of COVID, because
Oh,
everything else that was kind of like a basic necessity of your life that was still going on. I mean, people were still buying groceries, people were still buying clothes, but tourism is something
okay.
that people just instantly stopped doing because they didn't mobility was like, and also it's kind of like a luxury. It comes after
Yeah,
all of the other basic necessities of your life are fulfilled, and then you like think of, okay, fine, I need a vacation or I want to travel. And so I mean, it was the first industry that was hit by it, and it's going to be the longest. I mean, it's going to be the last one to recover when everything else
yeah,
opens up, and tourism is going to open up at the end of every other thing. So, I mean, it was obviously heartbreaking because we had like a lot of trips planned in March when this hit. We had a lot of cherry
mhm,
blossom trips planned. We work with a lot of foreigners. We have domestic tourists too, but we like mostly work with foreigners who come to Pakistan and they're like mostly interested in doing some traveling in. So like 2 seasons are really popular with foreigners. It's
uh-huh,
spring season, that's like March and April, and it's the fall season, that's September, October. So,
mhm,
I mean, it was like right in the middle of cherry blossom season when this happened. So, we instantly had to cancel all of our trips. Even throughout the rest of the year, we had a lot of plans. We have like these partners in different countries. Like, we have some partners in the UK, there's one in the US, we have an Australian partner. So, we had like trips signed up with all of them throughout this year, and we had to like instantly cancel all of those things. So,
that,
financially, also, like all the people who have been financially dependent as a livelihood on tourism, it was really bad, but it's also kind of like the responsible thing to do at that time because
yeah,
you can't risk lives at such a time, and that's kind of like an irresponsible thing to do. So even right now, we had a few trips planned for the next couple of months, but we still thought that it would probably be a more responsible thing to delay them a little bit and just better safe than sorry. So I
yeah,
kind of like to take that approach that because even in terms of SOPs, because the government has issued some SOPs. You must have seen that around Eid, what happened was like, when the government allowed people to go to markets and go shopping,
exactly,
gift
exactly.
shopping. Although there were like some SOPs that were given by the government that, you can't have so many people in a shop at the same time and all of that, but nobody really followed. So, I mean, a lot of it a lot of it actually depends on how things are implemented on the ground. It's not about writing rules and SOPs on a piece of paper because eventually how those SOPs are implemented on ground makes all the difference.
For sure, yeah. So the ये आपने you just mentioned a thing that that's the last thing to recover. But recently जब 2020 start हुआ and we were not having this, हमें नहीं पता था कि we gonna face this much big of shock and things lives are gonna change this much. So हमने बहुत सी top tourism lists में पाकिस्तान का नाम देखा, which was a good thing. So, being a person who has studied economy and then implemented it, so how do you think tourism can boost economy of Pakistan as we have beautiful places here?
I mean, I don't know how connected you are with the tourism industry, but in the past couple of years, the focus of our government has really been on promoting tourism.
Yeah,
I mean, they brought a lot of, I mean, they really focused on promoting tourism on a global as well as
बिल्कुल.
domestic level. There were a lot of foreign vloggers and bloggers who came to Pakistan who made videos about it, and also the government eased the visa policy. It was now very easy for like foreigners. Initially, it was like a very complicated process for people to get Pakistani visa, but now it
Uh-huh.
was easier for people to apply for visa because of the e-visa policy. A lot of NOCs that were initially required by foreigners were now not required anymore. So I mean, all these things were actually going to, this 2020 was actually going to be the year when you were going to benefit from all of these policy changes that had been happening. And like this year, it was like everybody was fully booked, all the hotels, all the airlines, all the transport, all the tour operators. So like 2020 was really looking a great year for everybody.
Yeah,
And obviously, because tourism is something that boosts not just the tourism industry, but also a lot of other industries that, for example, if you're going on a trip to Hunza or Skardu, you're also going to
hmm.
buy dry fruit from the local shops. You're also going to buy clothes from there. You're also going to eat at the
Stay in some
restaurants.
hotel. Yeah,
So, I mean, there are a lot of other things. I mean, even like on the way, you're going to buy fuel, you're going to buy snacks. So, all of those things, so these little things, they add up to the economy. And it's not just the tourism
exactly.
industry that benefits from them, it's all of these like other related industries that benefit from them. So, I mean, right now, people have been sharing videos and pictures of these touristic places that are like, so deserted. You don't see, I mean, not right
Yeah,
now when people have started traveling, like recently in the
traveling. Yeah,
past couple of weeks they've started traveling now, but before that, in the past couple of months, what you could see was like there was literally nobody there. And people were really suffering because like it was not just the hotels or tour operators who were suffering, all these people who had these shops and nobody was coming there to buy any of their stuff, they were also suffering because of it.
exactly, exactly. So, on the other hand, we Pakistanis have a special talent. We are very optimistic. So, अगर मैं optimistic होकर बात करूँ, we see like that. Okay, things are going to be normal after months because we recently heard that government is saying that soon the ban on things will be lifted and people will be allowed to travel. So, do you think कि पाकिस्तान में SOPs उस तरह implement हो सकेंगी when tourism opens? Because now this situation like corona is gonna stay. It's like हम लोगों को SOPs follow करनी ही पड़ेंगी. So do you think people will follow SOPs while promoting tourism in Pakistan?
So I think being optimistic is like a great thing, and it's also like one of the things that makes Pakistan such a resilient, great nation because we've
Yeah.
kind of recovered from really, really bad phases that the country has gone through. Even if you look at the tourism industry specifically, 9/11 was the first thing that happened to the tourism industry of Pakistan. And after nine
Uh-huh.
eleven, it took us some time, but like we recovered from that. So we always come back. But so being optimistic is a good thing, but being delusional is also, one thing that we suffer with. A lot of people during this time of COVID, I mean, they just chose not to believe that it exists. A lot of people said that it's like a conspiracy theory, and doctors are actually killing people, and it doesn't even exist. And that's why
Uh-huh.
I mean, is if you don't even believe that something is real, you obviously are not going to follow the SOPs to kind of
Exactly.
stay away from it. So that's like one of the reasons why we saw that people went crazy shopping around Eid, and because they obviously they didn't
And
think
it's
that
about
COVID
time कि
existed.
अब बड़ी ईद आ रही है, so people are going to be crazy again.
Yeah, and so COVID is the thing with COVID is that you don't see the impact instantly. For example, what happened on Eid, how people traveled on Eid, and whatever they did, we saw the impact of that after 14 days. So that's
Mhm.
like a time period. People who get infected, they start showing symptoms, and then they infect other people. A lot of people are also asymptomatic, so they're not really suffer from anything themselves, but like they're spreading the virus to like a lot of other people that they don't realize. So it took
बिल्कुल.
14 days to actually kind of see the results of what happened on Eid. And even like with tourism, and a lot of people who are traveling right now, we're going to see the impact of this after 14 days. And right now, the areas where they're traveling to, like all these mountainous areas, they don't really have the kind of facilities that cities have. And even in the cities, we were like, the hospitals went beyond their capacity. I know a lot of people who some people I knew and people related to them, they just died because they could not find a hospital bed at that time. So I
Exactly,
know a lot of
exactly.
people
Very
who
sad.
just, it was like you had to really like give some bribes or like maybe like have some kind of connections to even find a hotel bed in like the main cities. So you can imagine the kind of infrastructure they have in the mountains. They really don't have the capacity to deal with any sort of crisis if, God forbid, it happens there. So
Uh-huh.
I think it's really our responsibility to kind of ensure that we don't put other lives in danger and we don't put our own lives in danger
Exactly.
by doing any such thing. So definitely, livelihoods are really important, but at the same time,
Uh-huh.
lives are also important. We can't put lives at risk for livelihoods because I mean maybe we've survived. It happened in March, so it's been like July now. We've survived for a few months and hopefully like how the trend is going, it looks like the numbers are falling now and maybe in the next
Falling
couple
now,
of
yeah.
months it will be like because that's true that we have to learn how to live with it. Then we also need to know that what's a controlled risk, what is a risk that we can take, because we also need to keep in mind that maybe you will follow SOP or there are like 10% of people who will try to make sure that they do follow SOPs, but there are a lot of people who will not, and their
Yeah,
actions will have
because right now
consequences.
even we are saying कि चाहे tourism बंद किया हुआ है लेकिन there's so many people who are still traveling or we see the pictures over the social media so no one is following any SOPs. So in terms they don't realize but they are endangering lives of others.
Yeah. So that's kind of like, I mean, even now I get like so many calls every day, and like sometimes people are like literally forcing me, कि आप क्यों नहीं trip से के जा रही हैं? And then, and I tell them it's not, government has not officially opened tourism, and then they start sending me pictures that, this person is taking trips, this person is taking trips, and I'm like, if you think that, fine, why don't you go with them? I mean, it's
Yeah,
like my own decision when I feel I'm comfortable with taking trips, and it's everybody's own decision. So even people who are traveling right now, it's really important that they follow SOPs on their own. I mean,
uh-huh.
some companies who are probably taking trips, some of them maybe are following SOPs, but there are like a lot of others who are not.
Exactly.
So it's like, we need to take the responsibility on ourselves that what is, I mean, just think that, you're out there on your own, there's nobody else kind of like doing anything for you. So you have to make sure that you don't.
Make sure.
Yeah, I think.
Exactly. So for all the people watching, if someone is still planning to travel, please follow the SOPs for your own sake and for other people's sake. So, moving on, Anika, since you said that you started this because you saw that there are many travel opportunities in Pakistan, they're beautiful places, but there are lots of foreigners come here for traveling. But एक चीज मैंने generally notice की है कि we don't even notice much कि यहाँ पर इतना है, इतनी जगह है जहाँ जा सकते हैं. Plus, there are many barriers which come in the way, especially if you are a girl or you're young girl. क्योंकि एक तो सबसे पहले तो घर वाले ही आपको कह देते हैं क्योंकि it's not safe to travel. So what implementations and policies do you think can make traveling safe in Pakistan, especially for young people and young women?
Yeah, I think it's mostly going to come from like a change of mindset. It's like a cultural change, and it's not going to happen overnight. So I know even like a
Exactly.
lot of my friends, their parents are comfortable with them going all over the world, and they can like travel solo in other parts of the world, but not in their
Uh-huh.
own country. I mean, they won't be concerned if their daughter is like in the US or in Europe doing a solo backpacking trip in Europe, but like they will be
Yeah,
concerned if
exactly my
you know
point.
so, I mean, it's kind of like also the security situation that Pakistan has faced with for the past couple of years, but like things have really changed now, and the ground
Mm.
realities have changed, and people need to realize that because I mean, it's not just the mindset of foreigners about Pakistan; it's also the mindset of Pakistanis about Pakistan, because most of the Pakistanis,
Exactly.
they have not really traveled well throughout their country, and they don't really know what exists beyond their own small bubbles. So it's also like there's a need to also change that concept of because a lot of people say that security is a problem. So if you're traveling, what's the security? I'm like, security for problem is not really a real problem. It's actually a mindset problem that needs to change over time. And like when you're traveling, you actually see on the ground that people in the mountains, they're like very hospitable, they're very helpful. So whenever I'm traveling solo, I feel like, the people who go out of their way to make sure that I'm comfortable, and they would just, make sure that they would connect me with somebody reliable so I don't face any
Great,
problem. So
great.
I've seen that. I mean, there are a lot of challenges that exist in this country, but there are also advantages that are there for you as a female. Because, for example, um, I get access to the homes of a lot of people. For a man, it's not as easy because they can't. A lot of people, they don't feel comfortable if a stranger man going to their houses. But with women, they feel like it's probably safe. It's not going to be a problem. So I get access to like more places than probably a man would. In that
Yeah,
sense, but then there are also hindrances that I have to face. I can't say that it's like without its challenges. Obviously, the challenges are there, but I think that the people who just step out to face those challenges, they kind of make things easier for people who come after them. So
exactly.
the I mean, if more people step out now and they're ready to face those barriers, if they're ready to face those challenges, it's going to change things for the coming generations because that mindset will change. And then, when people see that these women are traveling and they're not really facing any problems, so then other women will also get the confidence of doing that.
Get the confidence, exactly. And I think now times are actually changing. I see so many girls traveling and solo traveling especially. It's good that things are changing, so let's hope कि change आएगी. So another big barrier in traveling that we commonly see and people talk about is that it's expensive. So obviously, if I plan a normal trip, it's even into some part of Northern India, it will cost me around, if I talk even least, almost 15 to 20K if I'm right. So how we can make tourism affordable in Pakistan for the general public?
For the general public, I don't think it's really expensive because I mean, if you look at the kind of tour packages that the majority of tour operators are offering right now, they're like
Uh-huh.
offering really, really low price packages. My issue basically is that we need to ensure that we maintain certain aspects of quality on trips. So I'm always like on the favor. I mean, if you are kind of like planning to do backpacking and really kind of going on an adventure sort of a trip, then Pakistan is a very cheap country to travel in.
Uh-huh.
But if you want a luxury vacation with good facilities, with a good hotel, then that's not cheap in Pakistan. So
हाँ,
if you
तो
are
वही ना वहीं पे सेफ्टी और क्वालिटी का इशू आ जाता है.
yeah. So, I mean, in that sense, definitely Pakistan is expensive because, I mean, if you compare it with Thailand or like if other countries, it's probably you can get a lot of better facilities and the same amount of money if you're traveling there. But in Pakistan, getting like the same amount of quality in services, you'll have to pay a lot more. जैसे यहाँ पे ज़्यादातर high end जो hotels हैं, Serena या PC वगैरह. So, I mean, if you were saying like 15 to 20K, so that's like one charges of one night stay in that hotel.
Yeah.
So if you want that standard of service, then obviously it's going to be very expensive. But I think our model going forward can be like developing capacity of small hotels or maybe going on an Airbnb sort of a model where we don't
Uh-huh.
like think of like building developing these big chains of hotels, but like we focus on ensuring that smaller hotels and are more manageable, but like we build their capacity and increase their service standard and try to ensure that they kind of meet the criteria of providing good quality service at a low price.
Uh-huh. Great. So on a lighter note, if I ask you, Anika, that which was the best trip of your life, so which one will it be?
I don't know. It's very difficult for me to because like they've been like very very
Uh-huh.
good trips,
Choosing one.
but I don't know. I did a solo. I mean, I like solo traveling. So now because I have to travel so much with groups, and then when you're traveling with group, you have to follow like a fixed itinerary. You don't have to do that when you're on your solo trip. So I like doing solo trips every year. I at least make sure that I take out 1 month from a year, and I just go just take off my backpack and like without having any plan, I just take a bus and go to some location and just
Uh,
explore on my own. I like that traveling. I did a trip from a road trip from Lahore to Karachi, and then Balochistan, Tharparkar, Nagar Parkar, and all these areas for like 16, 20 days, and that was a lot of
mhm.
fun. I did a trip with another friend, like a business partner of mine, Alex from the US. So we were like doing some research for a women only trip, and we traveled up north for 1 month on a motorbike. So that was an interesting trip. And then the women only trip that we
Great,
planned
great.
together. On that trip, there were like a few women who came from like all parts of the world, and we took them to the remotest areas of Pakistan. We took them to homestays where they stayed at people's houses. So that was like an interesting trip that we did. So there are a lot of interesting things. I can't
Great,
really say
great.
that
So,
this
so
is.
if I ask you, these are all no doubt wonderful experiences. I visited your page with beautiful pictures, and I'm trying to flash them, but there's some issue with the stream here today. But if I ask you that, अगर आपने किसी को suggest करना हो, if you just have one must-visit place in Pakistan that you consider that if you haven't seen that, you've seen nothing. What's that one place? I'm sure there are
So
many, but if you have to choose one.
So, in terms of like first time travelers who have not traveled anywhere in Pakistan so far, I would recommend they start with Hunza, because in terms of infrastructure, the road is pretty good. They're like you find decent hotels, the people are really educated, they have been dealing with tourists for a long time. So, I mean, even on my solo treks as a female, I feel very comfortable in Hunza because people there are used to having females around, foreign tourists around, and also, I mean,
Uh-huh.
it's getting really commercial now with time. I mean, slowly, Hunza is not really what it used to be a few years ago, but still, I think this is one place. If you haven't been anywhere in Pakistan, maybe you can start from there. But like, you should also explore other places, not just go to Hunza.
Uh-huh. Great. So, lastly, on the concluding note, I'll ask you, Aneeqa, that how do you see being a person who travels so much, who owns a travel company, and who's really connected with the tourism world? So, considering that things will change, but we are hoping for the best. So, how do you see the future of tourism in the Pakistan in coming 5 years?
So, I mean, this year the tourism industry was really going to, change in Pakistan, and I was really looking forward to this year. But I think we'll bounce back from next year. I'm hopeful that we will bounce back and things will get back to normal, because it's not something that only Pakistan has faced. This has been a reality for people all over the world. So everybody suffered from it. Everybody understands that this is not just a Pakistan problem; it's everyone's problem, and we have to maybe
Exactly.
come up with a solution for it collectively. So I'm positive that we will be able to bounce back from it. But I feel like there's a lot of need of developing the tourism infrastructure in Pakistan right now. I mean, we don't have enough. I mean, all the foreigners who are coming to Pakistan are mostly backpackers, and they're used to traveling, like doing hardcore kind of traveling. But if we want really some serious, like high-end foreigners to come to Pakistan, then I think we need to develop our infrastructure to kind of provide the kind of services that they want. And even a lot of
Exactly.
Pakistanis, they don't feel comfortable traveling in Pakistan. It's not that they don't have money to travel. They take like yearly vacations to USA or Australia or like Thailand or like other parts of the world. And they do that because they have the money, but they don't find the right kind of infrastructure in Pakistan to do that. So we need to be able to provide them those kind of facilities here and try to develop our infrastructure, so we not only build our foreign tourist network, but also more Pakistanis prefer to travel within Pakistan after that.
Uh-huh. Great, great. So, can you see the picture I flashed on the screen?
Yes, I can see that.
Yes, that's one beautiful picture that I found on your page. So can you tell me about it? It's a very cute girl. So as ये मुझे इसलिए बहुत अच्छी लगी because you guys are not even traveling, you are also exploring the beautiful culture. So tell me something about it.
So this picture actually this just completely happened by accident. I was traveling on a public bus, on a NATCO bus. If you know, in these northern areas, they have the bus service NATCO that travels on different routes. So I was going from Gilgit to Chitral, and that. So the
Uh-huh.
bus driver, I just because I was a solo female traveling, he probably also got curious that what am I doing on that bus. So he started asking me that what are you doing, where are you going. So I told him about my plans a little bit, and I told him that after Chitral I plan to come back to this area and I'm going to be traveling in Gazar. So he said, "Oh,
Uh-huh.
okay. If you're planning to go to Wizard," I said, "Yeah, I'm going to Yasin Valley." So he said, "So the last village in Yasin Valley is the port, and that's where my house is. So if you go to Yasin Valley, you should definitely visit my village." And I said, "Okay, I'll do that." So when I came back, I told Alex. We were both traveling on a motorbike on that trip, and I told her that I've met a bus driver, and she told me about this village, a very beautiful village, and she was like, "Okay, let's go and check it out." So we, drove on a motorbike. We went to this village, and we just asked a person that, "Do you know Murad, the driver for Natco bus?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can take you to his house." So he wasn't
Uh-huh.
there because he's like always driving around, but he took us to his family house and we met his family. It's like this is his daughter, and so the family, they
Cute.
were like already waiting for us. He had informed them. He had told them that we will be coming there to meet them. So these people were already waiting for us, and we had a great time there.
Cute. That's the beauty, I think, of Pakistan. That people are so welcoming that even if you're traveling from if you're just a stranger, they'll be very nice. And I've seen that in Nadran area especially.
Yeah.
So, can you see the picture I've just flashed?
Yeah, it's still the same picture. I can't see the next picture.
Okay, I think it'll load shortly. I hope it does. Okay. So, concluding the talk, Kanika, it was very nice talking about you. And since abhi hum travel nahi kar sakte, so we can only talk about it. But I want to see tourism flourishing in Pakistan. So, lastly, for the people watching, I'd like you to tell the people that if they're still planning to travel and if they plan to travel even in future, so how important is that they follow SOPs and which of SOPs should they properly follow?
Yeah, it's really important because how strictly you follow the SOPs is also going to define how the future of the tourism industry is going to look like. Because if everybody's traveling and this disease spread in the northern areas, then obviously they'll have to lock them down again. Then you won't be able to travel, and nobody will be able to travel again. So it's not just
Yeah,
important for you, but it's also important for other people, and also for Pakistan's image on a global level. Because if that image of Pakistan goes to foreigners, like the disease is still, when other countries have controlled it in their areas,
yeah.
and it is still spreading in Pakistan, then that's going to be an alarming situation for those foreigners to kind of rethink about their plans of coming to Pakistan. So I think it's really important for us to protect Pakistan's image and follow SOPs, and also, just to save lives, also just to save lives of like those locals and your own family and other people who are around you. So, one really simple thing to do that is just wearing a mask. And I've seen like people, just because I don't know, they find it inconvenient. It's really hot. It's really humid. People don't like to do it, but
Yeah,
just following this basic SOP of wearing a mask, it can like make a huge difference, even if you don't do.
huge difference,
You should
exactly.
do all of the other things as well, but like mask is like a basic thing that everybody needs to be doing.
Exactly. Wonderful. So it was wonderful having you here, Anika, and we'll be surely having more such sessions with you in future. So thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Great talking to you.
Thank you. So that was Aneeqa Ali from Mad Hatters. And for all of you, lastly, I like to say that if you are traveling, first of all, don't, because right now अगर हम 2 दिन सब्र कर लेंगे, then later on we all will be able to travel safely. And right now we need to focus that this thing is serious, and we need to focus ke let's take the numbers down and let's take the curve low. So, and if you are still traveling, please follow the SOPs and stay safe and keep the people around you safe. So, we will be back with another episode of Evolve Talks on Monday. So, till then, stay tuned and stay safe.